Hi guys, welcome to Psychic Roulette Strategies, video 3 of the Q&A series. Today's question is, I'm not seeing the numbers in the casino like I do at home. Why is that? And for those of you playing online, question is usually, I'm starting to play with money and why am I not getting the results that I usually get when I'm not playing with money? And over the years, I've found a few things that have caused this problem, so I'd like to talk about 3 of them today. The first one is about environment in the casino. Now, a lot of people, you will notice that what the environment that you have at home is not the same as the casino. Usually the casinos are loud and there's a lot of people pushing last minute to place bets. The surface is different, the lighting is different, and it's loud and noisy, and it could be also full of drunk people. So and the energy of the place might not be good as well. So it's going to be a very different environment to usually how you would focus at home. So the solution to this I would recommend is that if you're going to go and play at a casino, try and simulate the environment as much as possible at home. If it's loud, then play some loud music, and you know, if it's warm or if it's cold, then maybe simulate those environments as well at home. The closer you can get, you can train under those circumstances, the easier it is for the brain to perform in the casino than it would usually. See, you can't expect your brain to perform under a quiet circumstance and then expect it to perform in a place where it's very noisy. It's going to be hard for the brain to quiet down the noise while it's trying to focus. So always try to simulate the environment that you're going to be playing in with money. The second point I want to talk about is test to see where you are. Usually if you see people who play sports, when they warm up, they tend to perform better than people who do not warm up. And I think the same applies for the brain, and for me especially, it takes me about 10 to 15 minutes of warming up or just calling the numbers before I even play with any money. But what that also allows me to do is to see where my brain is today. See, not every day you're going to feel the same emotionally. There might be other things affecting the way you feel on a certain day. You might be hungry, you might be tired, you might be upset about something. Those affect your mental states and how you see the future of numbers. So by testing, you can see where you are right now. Basically you get an instant feedback, or in a couple of seconds to a minute, where you are seeing the future of numbers. So when I test, sometimes I will just say, okay, today I'm 4 spins in, so I won't bet on the first 3 spins. I'll just bet on the fourth spin. But that's not to say that tomorrow I'll have a different result, because it all varies with the environment plus how you feel and where you are mentally. So it's always a good point to test to see where you are mentally. The last point is fear. And I think this is probably one of the most crippling things about roulette, especially when you start playing with money, especially for the guys online as well. When you start playing with money, when I first started out, I freak out over 25 pence, per bet. And my friend, and I'd freak out for quite some time. It was a couple of years before a friend of mine pointed out that, I spend more on dinners and going out than I would on one spin, and why was I so fearful and anxious? And one thing I want to tell you guys about playing with, money and starting to feel fearful, there's a part of the brain that physically takes over. And when you start feeling fearful, you're already in your fight and flight mode, and it's a physical part of the brain that takes over. So your ability to see the future of numbers basically goes out the window. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't try to conquer that. I think that is something that we all have to work through over the years, and I'm working on it as well, even as we speak. But if you're playing with money, when you start getting fearful, it's always a good point to stop playing with money and work on conquering that fear. Now, one of the ways I've come across is being grateful. Fear cannot exist in a grateful state. So usually I would walk away and call it a day and play again the next day when I'm feeling much better. But you will get anxious, and it's always, good to stop, just observe that feeling, disassociate from it. Like, look at it as if sometimes what I do at a casino is when I start getting very anxious, I try to step away from myself. So I pretend that I'm standing over across the room and watching myself standing next to the table playing. And if that's not enough, then I take 2 steps away and try to focus on seeing myself, watching myself playing roulette. And that sometimes dissipates the fear, and then you can go back to playing. But as soon as you feel anxious, it's always a good thing to stop playing with money. Alright guys, so I hope this has been of value, and I definitely look forward to your comments, what your thoughts are. If you have any more questions, please put them in the comment section below or reply to this email. I'm definitely happy to answer them for you. And I look forward to speaking with you guys again on the next video. Thanks again for your time. Cheers.